Alright, hello, welcome back to the video, and today in today's video, we are going to be talking about another fan-made series. But in this case, it's a little bit different. Last time I was just saying, this is better than the show. Moving on, today we are going to be talking about a series that is better than the Hit Era, which is like, wow, that's not very hard. I can make a pizza look better, sound better than the Hit Era. And you might be right, I don't care. So, the basic way that this is going to work is we're going to go through all 6 seasons. Okay, well, we're going to be reviewing 5 seasons, because the 5th season goes off into Big World, Big Adventures territory, and I can make a whole video about that. So we're not doing that today. But what we are talking about is the Hit Era, and we're going to be talking about season 1 through 6 of this guy's series, and then we're going to be talking about how his series is better than the Hit Era. So without further ado, let's get right into season 1. Okay, so season 1 starts off short but sweet. It's a very sweet season. It's pretty short episodes. There's like maybe 3-4 episodes. Like I said, they're all very short, 4-minute stories, and there's only like 3 per season. And that's something that's going to occur throughout this whole thing. But I want to just think that this series, it starts off on a good foot, I guess I should say. This show, the season, has a pretty good story that doesn't jump out at you. But I would say none of them are bad stories. They're just simple stories. But overall, that's a pretty good thing to start a season or a show off with. You don't want your best stories in your first season. Now, the camera work could use a lot of improvement. Some scenes look pretty bad, but everyone's season 1 tends to look fairly crappy. So, I'm not going to really diss them too much on that. Maybe if it continues like that down the line, we'll get a little about it, but overall, the stories are pretty good. Like I said, they don't tend to jump out at you, but not bad stories in any way. So I definitely give this season a 7 out of 10. Okay, so good start. Not great, but not terrible. Definitely a lot to be desired, but sets and stuff, whatever. Anyway. So, season 2 is better. Well, the stories, I say, are a little bit better. And season 2 seems better, but it feels a lot like season 1. Just better. The camera still needs a lot of work, but it's getting better. But I think season 2 is better. The sets are good. I like the first stories, but the last one is my personal favorite. They're very short and simple, but I feel like they're a lot like the Hit Era, and that's good. But they're not like bad like the Hit Era. They're good like the good stories of the Hit Era, I guess. It feels good. It's like a mixture between the classic era and the Hit Era, kind of mixed together. So I wouldn't say any of these stories are bad, just kind of simple, like season 1, but a big improvement from season 1. I would definitely rate this above season 1, so I'd give it a good 8 out of 10. Better than season 1, but I think the next seasons will be better, and I think every season after this season shall be improved. But I guess we can put it somewhere in the middle. Okay, so season 3. I think this is where it begins to get a lot better, but I only really liked 2 out of the 3 stories, as the first one is very 3 Strikes Miller era, and I didn't really like that.
Dennis arrived at the next stop at Maithwaite Station. Percy rushed up beside him.
"What are you doing?"
said Percy.
"I wanted to do a special job so people could admire me like Gordon,"
said Dennis.
"This is my job."
The crash was good, but again, these stories are still in their simple stages. He doesn't try to do too much, but I think the music and the voice acting, the mic is actually really good. Where the camera falls apart, the mic picks it up, but the camera is definitely better, at least in my opinion, than it was in the first season, and I think that it will get better as time goes on. But I definitely have to think that this season is a lot better. The sets are good. Some sets kind of can take you in and out of it, but it's been like that for all the seasons. But man, the sets are really impress me and really put me in a world, I guess a trance you could say. Not every story needs high sets like that. DJ Trains is definitely an example of that, but I think when sets are used correctly, they look really nice. I do like this season. Like I said, not every episode hit this season, but I do still like the stories. They're a good mixture between simple but not too simple and just a feel-good story. So I give this season an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely better than the first 2 seasons, but I think we can get better as time goes on. Alright, so season 4 I think is my personal favorite season. Season 6 is a close top second, but I think season 4 just hits it for me. Again, I haven't watched much of season 5, so who knows, but as it stands right now, season 4 is my favorite. Oh, gosh dang it, computer. Okay. Either way, it has a lot of funny scenes. This is where I think he starts to get funny. And he starts mixing in that kind of just funny out of the blue. It's not like building up to a joke. It's just like, suddenly it's like dialogue, heavy dialogue, talking about something. And then out of somewhere, just a joke comes. And it's just like, I didn't see that coming. And it's funny. And then there's a lot of references to the show in this season, which I definitely really do like. It's just like, hey, remember that one time that James almost got killed? Wait, what? I think I just mixed that up. I think I meant to say Rusty. Whatever. Either way. Still some camera problems, but again, definitely better. At this point, I could say that he can do moving scenes a lot better. It's just when it's standing still, it does some weird shit. Either way, the camera is definitely not that big of a deal, and I think from this point, I'm just not going to mention it because the camera's not that big of a deal. Honestly, it doesn't matter how bad your camera is, as long as the stories, in my opinion anyway, as long as the stories are good, I think that the camera isn't a top priority. Take Big Engine 87. His videos are only 720p, and his first ones look pretty crappy. But the stories keep you interested in it long enough to keep watching it. And that's why I think that Season 4 is also my favorite. The stories just seem better. But they do some weird stuff here with Diesel 10, which is kind of weird, because it's a mixture between his evil side from Magic Railroad and Diesel of the Day crap show Diesel 10, because the fat hat just shows up and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, but so I paused, I was like, oh, he's gonna make Diesel 10 all nice and cowered over Diesel 10. But no, what he did was he was like embarrassed and stopped. So not like he fears the fat controller, but like this isn't the right time to strike back against the controller. Like Diesel 10 almost, I don't know, you have to go watch it and make your own opinion, but I kind of liked that Diesel 10. Overall, I think the season's a good 9 out of 10 in my opinion. Okay, funny story. Wait, there's more. Season 6. I didn't delete. Okay. Season 6 got done while I was filming. It's like I said, very short seasons. Short and sweet, I guess. So I went back and watched it, and I think this is good. Like, really good. The sets are really good. Like, they blow my mind how good they are. Some phenomenal stories. Not everyone hits hard. Like, the Neville one was pretty boring in my opinion, but the other ones thoroughly make up for that. The voice acting is good, and I like the faces. They don't always match up, but I think having different faces just adds an extra level of characters to these stories. Sure, that makes sense. I did skip season 5, which I talked about earlier, and this season luckily doesn't tie too much into the Big World Big Adventures that the first episode does, but I thought that episode was pretty good. It was a little short and just kind of like instantly things happened, but that's fine. It worked out fine anyway, and it was kind of like this whole Birdie and Ace thing. You have to go watch it. But I thought that was good, but I do definitely think, I did skip season 5, but I think you could totally skip to season 4 and season 5 if you're totally against Big World Big Adventures. Look, I only saved it mainly on time, because I could probably talk all about that and Big World Big Adventures in their own separate thing. Either way, so the second episode is my least favorite, but I like the rest of them, and I definitely would give this season a good 9.5 out of 10. I definitely think that in season 4 are on the same level, story-wise. Okay, so overall thoughts here. My overall thoughts is that while the series has its flaws, yes, it does. It's not perfect, but no fan-made thing is perfect. Take Big Engine 87, take anything I've ever made, take anything, and you can find flaws with it. But I think that as long as those flaws are overruled by stories or another driving factor, I think it's fine. And in this case, I have to say it's his stories and his sets and his voice acting are the three main things. I don't know if I think he has different voice actors, but the voice actors, in my opinion, do a very nice job of making these characters feel just out there, just nice characters, I guess you could say. And the sets are really nice. Like, I know that you don't need sets, but the fact that he did that just added some extra things to it, and I really do like those sets. Like, I could just stare at those sets forever. They are so nice. I really like the sets. While some of them aren't perfect, I think that the ones, especially moving shots, look really nice. And the stories, like I said, they're a very hit era, tied in with a classic era feel to them, but that's fine. I think that they're nice stories. Are they too complex? No. But does every story out there in the universe, on the Thomas YouTube fandom thing, have to be complex? No, they don't. And I definitely think that he hit a good stride here between simple stories but still good stories. The comedy, in my opinion, just gets better every season, and I like the little, references to other seasons and different things that he throws in there. Like, one of the episodes, it was really funny. It's basically just the end of Cars.
Trying to catch up with him. Then there was trouble. Bertie started to go slower and slower.
I'm overheating!
Bertie yelled. Ace heard him, but pretended he didn't. He felt very bad. And just as Ace was about to cross the finish line and declared the first winner, he slammed on his brakes, right in front of the finish line.
Ace, what are you doing?
Thomas yelled, but Ace didn't answer. He reversed quickly down the racetrack and saw Bertie billowed with black smoke.
Hey, mate, I'm not gonna let you lose the race like this.
So Ace bumped into the back of Bertie and pushed him all the way to the finish line. Everybody cheered hooray and hurrah for Ace's...
I'll link that one I'm linking the whole channel. It's Ace and Birdie shit. Very funny. It was very cute. Either way, so that's just my overall thoughts. This is good. Does it have its flaws? Yes. But overall, I definitely think you should watch it. It is definitely a good show. Now, we need to talk about the main thing, how this is better than Hit Era. And the main reason I think that this is better than Hit Era is because it shows that somebody cares. You could say, oh, Hit Era did care, the people at Hit did care, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're a corporation. Their bottom line means more than if people like their stupid show. Why do you think they moved it to a learning show? I'm just saying. Now, if you're gonna get all pissy at me, that's fine. I don't care. Now, I definitely think that his stories they feel better. It's like if somebody actually put effort and time and cared about the Hit Era, and instead of focusing on making money, because he's definitely not making money, and focusing on making money and appealing to a certain audience, he's just making stories that he likes. And I think that's the best thing that you can do for a show, is have it to a point where it's just you care about it. Not monetary value, just doing it because that's genuinely something you like. Because that's genuinely something you care about. And I can just feel when watching it that he's put time into this. This wasn't just like, oh, grab your nearest thing, make some Thomas shit, and get your ass paid. No, it's something he cares about. Why, if he didn't care, why would he build the sets? Why would he do all the stuff that he's done for this series? And that's why I really think it's better than the Hit Era. And it's not only because the stories are better, and he ties in the Hit Era elements but makes them good. Like on the full versions where you can watch all of his episodes at once, he has songs in between and does like what the DVD has done. And I think that's really cute.
Today on the island of Sodor, we see what happens when Percy and James have to work at the scrapyard.
He just does it better. And I just think that's because he cares more than Hit Entertainment did when they owned it. Why do you think they sold it so fast? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Overall, I really do like this series, and I suggest if you haven't watched it, you go and watch it. I'll link it down below. Please go watch this series. It's genuinely phenomenal, and it is 10 times better than the Hit Era ever was. If you were like, man, I like the Hit Era concept, but I hate the episodes, go watch this. Anyway, until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and if you want me to do another one of these, link it down below, although I may already have another one picked out. Excuse me. Anyway, until next time, comment, like, subscribe. Bye!